All right, welcome guys to the pod. We're gonna be talking some Broncos today. Um, Currently it's preseason week, game day on Sunday. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about the quarterback competition, of course. We're gonna be talking about the wide receiver action, uh, some free agents that were recently let go, and Caden Stearns. Um, and yeah, let's get right into it. So, so today's Broncos training camp. Devaughn Vele with the one-handed snag. He really uh, got caught Sean Payne's attention with that one. I'm sure he for sure it's looking like he's locking up a 53-man roster spot right there. Um, he The thing with Vele is that he gives me like a Tim Patrick vibe. He like the same build almost. They're both lanky and tall, but they can make plays, and they're just like ball hawks. Even though that's more of a cornerback term right there. But nonetheless, he's making plays, and it's not looking too good for Troy Franklin. I thought Troy Franklin was gonna be uh I thought he was going to be a stud during training camp, but apparently not. Turns out he's having some issues. I know at Oregon he had a couple drops, but I still believe in Troy Franklin. I think he will make the 53-man roster when it comes all said and done, as they did trade up for him in the draft. So why are they not gonna give him a shot at the 53-man roster? Um, Another thing, yeah, Sutton. He said in an interview with Mike Kliss that he was interested in, or he was excited. Excuse me, excited for preseason action. So does that mean that he are we gonna see Sutton week first preseason game, or was that just interview talk? Something to keep our eyes on. Also, looking at the rest of the quarterbacks that were drafted this year. So this is an interesting stat right here, and something to keep or that's promising so far is the rookie quarterback stats in training camp. We have obviously the number one pick, Caleb Williams, with he's got 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions though. Decent. Okay. Jaden Daniels, he's got 18 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a little better. And then Drake May, surprisingly, I thought he would have had like 8+ interceptions for by now. But no, he's at 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Not bad. That's decent. It's pretty good. And then JJ McCarthy, it's not looking too good for him. 3 touchdowns and seven interceptions. The thing with JJ McCarthy is that he gave me a lot of Zach Wilson vibe, and I feel like they share the same characteristics. And Michigan not allowing him to pass the ball, this totally said a lot. It definitely said a lot. I don't know why the draft analysts weren't looking too much into that. Um, they were just glorifying this quarterback like if that wasn't the case at his school in Michigan. 7 interceptions. And then also with Drake May, um, they also took I believe Joe Milton, and I think there's a quarterback battle there. It's the same thing with Drake May to me. I don't know. It's a hot take right here. Drake May is going to be a bust, especially for how high they took him. Drake May, he showed flashes, but it's still he wasn't sharp. He seemed way too raw. If anything, he's definitely going to take a couple years, and maybe he'll just be a backup or something in this league. But moving on to Bo Nix's stats, training camp stats, he's got 36 touchdowns. 36. That's more than Caleb Williams. That's more than all the other quarterbacks taken before him. And one interception. Those are some stats right there. I like it. It's looking promising. Don't mind the helicopter flying over my house right now. But yeah. Anyways, the thing I do caution us, the Bronco fan base, to not get overexcited with these stats. It's just training camp. There's not much, it's not very realistic. And some of the clips from training camp, it's just like not game. It's not the same flow as in the game. You can kind of tell that they're just kind of, doing their thing. I see some of the wide receivers not going all out 100%. Maybe they're all going like 90%. Even though they're trying to go 100% and the coaches tell them to go to 100%, I know that it's nothing like game day. There's nothing like game day. So I do caution the Broncos country to, be cautiously optimistic. Okay, I will say that. We did our D line that we reinstated. He was putting some pressure in today's practice. Apparently, he was doing good. So that goes to show he was staying in shape. A lot of people question. I know I questioned it if he was gonna be in shape by the time he was reinstated. But yes, he's reinstated and he's back in action. I hope he contributes and is a really good part of this team. Moving on to Greg Dulcich. Struggle with his last name, but the tight end Greg Dulcich. Greg, long hair Greg. He's doing really good. He's speedy. I've heard he's really fast and just looking good. And I do fear that he's really injury prone. So I'm just praying that he doesn't tweak the hamstring again or the foot, because I heard he also had some foot issues as well. Yeah, but the thing with the quarterback rotation, I just don't know why they just don't give Bo Nix this number one quarterback nod. It's taken away from him having to rotate and practice with the second stringers, the third stringers. I find it counterproductive, and I mean, maybe they're trying to keep the NFL on their toes for week one. Like, maybe it'll be Jared Stidham. Maybe it'll be not Zach Wilson. Hopefully not Zach Wilson starts week one. Maybe it'll be Bo Nix heading up against the Seahawks. But yeah, apparently Bo Nix, he's doing good. He's getting after it. According to Bo Nix, the offense is slowing down for him, and that's a good sign for a rookie. Usually it's quite opposite. And yeah, he's in and out of the huddle, according to sources, and he's doing really good. With Bo Nix, even in the pre-draft process, I always knew that he was one of those quarterbacks that were just really smart and always knew what to do, and it would say a lot. For example, when he was on the Hurt show with Colin Cowherd, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. You could just sense the love he had for the game, almost like kind of like Tom Brady. I don't want to hype him up too much, but almost like Tom Brady, where he was like, you could tell he puts effort into it. He puts effort into the film. He puts effort into just trying to get better in any way. And, those are really good traits for quarterback. And, oh, yes. One thing that does concern me, however, about this Broncos team going into the season is the defensive coordinator. Yes. Um, Vance Joseph, we all know Vance Joseph. He, he was all right. I was really shocked he wasn't cut after that Miami. What happened down in Miami. Um, I'm surprised he was still on the team, and I'll give him his props. They did, during that winning streak, they did do their thing. They took care of business, but at the same time, it was honestly some luck with, the way the ball was bouncing our way, quite literally with all those turnovers. Um, but Vance Joseph, I feel like no matter the personnel we have, there's always going to be that cap to the team's ability and um, potential, just because of who's coordinating the defense. That's something that's very concerning. And obviously, we're going all in with him this year, and maybe if he, goes, you know, does terrible, then we can cut him and put someone else in that will do at least a little better. Um, Vance Joseph, he seems like a great guy, a great person, a great motivator, but when it comes down to coordinating the actual in game stuff, no, I don't know how to feel about it. But yeah, other than that, I think that's it for this episode. Comment down any other topics you want me to get into, or comment on any questions you guys have, and yeah, um, thanks for listening and have an amazing day, y'all. Go Broncos.